Hello, everyone. My name is Terry Robinson, and I want to welcome you to the February 22nd Beachbody Rockstars team call. So this is my very first time that I'm doing one on my own, my very first time that I'm doing Google Hangouts. So I hope everything works well, and I hope that you learn some sort of tidbit or little nugget that you can take with you. So, as I said, my name is Terry Robinson. I am a diamond coach. I was at one point a 1-star for a while, but now I'm dropped down to a diamond. So hopefully I'm going to get back to multiple stars here soon. What I'm going to talk to you today about is challenge groups. So when I first became a coach, I was in a challenge group, but I didn't really necessarily need the determination and willpower for myself in the challenge group. So I personally have struggled with challenge groups throughout my 2 years of being a Beachbody coach. So I finally came up with a system that works for me. Now, and I'm not saying that this is a system that is the right way or the wrong way or the best way, but it's a system that works for me. So maybe you might be struggling with the same thing that I'm struggling or that I was struggling with, and this could help you. So what I struggled with was that I couldn't figure out how to get everyone to start a challenge group at the same exact time. And so therefore they were starting on different days, and could be like a different 5 to 6 days difference. And since I'm a new coach, I didn't necessarily want to turn anyone away or make them wait or that sort of thing once they were ready to get started. So since everyone was starting on different days, I also struggled with, when do I start a new group? So ideally, if I want to start the group on the 1st of every month, and if someone didn't start to the 15th, then I have to start a new group and then take them out of that group and add it in. And everyone was just getting confused. And not to mention the fact that when I was restarting the group, some people wanted to continue on, which again may or may be wrong, but I let them continue on. And so then I felt like the new people that were starting were missing out on the beginning post, the post for how to get started, what to do, and that sort of thing. And you can find some different scripts for the challenge groups in the back office under the challenge group guide, and it tells you exactly what to post. So I was repeating that, and I had over time came up with my own script that I was using and borrowed some other coaches' scripts that they had shared. So between that, I had come up with that, but it was very time consuming to have to repost it over and over again. And I was using Hootsuite, the automatic poster, but at the same time, it still took me extra effort to enter it into Hootsuite. So I came up with this. What we're going to talk about later. But first, I just remembered, I want to remind you, and I know it's February 22nd, but we still have even an extra day in February to take advantage of. And our challenge pack programs, we have our 21-day fix, 21-day fix extreme, both on promotion for $140. You can add the kickstart with the 3-day refresh and make it $180, or the size challenge pack is also $140. We have Team Cup going on right now, so if you're part of a Team Cup, then keep pushing through. They have some awesome prizes. They have a little Shakeology cup and the Hammer and Chisel, and who knows, maybe you'll win a trip to Los Angeles as the #1 Team Cup team. I myself am going on the cruise on March the 12th. Anybody else here going on the cruise? I'm very excited. It's my first cruise, and it's my first Success Club trip with Beachbody. So I'm very excited about that. If you're not going on this cruise and you have no possibility of getting off the wait list, make sure you get on the wait list for next year for Punta Cana. I'm on there. I think I'm like number 200 on the wait list, so that's pretty good. And Summit. Summit is July 28th through the 31st. If you are still on the wait list, hopefully you're going to get off of the wait list. But if you are having reservations about going and you don't know and you can't commit to it, you need to start planning now. If you're nervous about making arrangements for your family or financial, if you start now on February 17th and start planning for it, start saving for your airplane ticket and get some roommates, it's not really that bad of a cost. I used some miles from Southwest, and I got my plane ticket for free. And so I'm going to get some roommates, and we're going to share a house. And so it'll be really fun. It will definitely move your business forward. I know it was an experience that I've never experienced like that before. I've finally found my people, and I love going to Summit, and I will not miss a Summit. So hopefully you can get to Summit. Okay, so let's get started on our challenge packs. Not our challenge pack, our challenge group. Now, before we begin, I want to let you know that I am going to type up all of these notes, and I will share them in the Beachbody Rockstar page. So don't be nervous. I didn't make any slides. It was too much for me to make slides and figure out Google Hangout. So I'm sorry about that. But I am going to type up my notes, and I'm going to share them. I'll post them in the file section of Beachbody Rockstars. Okay? So before you begin, remember what we're going to do is I have a challenge group, one challenge group that I keep as ongoing. It is, I call it my motivation and support group. And everyone that gets a package from me, a challenge pack or, you know, any kind of program, I put them in my ongoing motivation group. And so they automatically get put in there. And then I created this series of automated emails. So because what was happening is I did not want to have to keep reposting the same things in the motivation group because some people had already seen them, and and then some people weren't, but I didn't want to waste anyone's time. So I came up with the idea to create a series of automated emails, so that way as soon as someone gets added to the group, then I add them to the list for the automated emails. So I do the automated emails through MailChimp. And so to get started with this, you will have to have a MailChimp account. And in order to use the automation feature in the MailChimp, it is a paid program. And I think mine's around $10 a month. So some people might be paying $10 a month for Hootsuite, and this might be a better option for you if you don't want to pay both. I don't pay for Hootsuite. I just post automatically in my groups. I don't set anything up. I just do that. But so for the automation, you do have to have the paid MailChimp account. So you want to have that set up before you get going. And you also, before you get going, want to create a cover photo in either PicMonkey or in Canva.com. They have a template that you can use that fits directly into a Facebook cover. So it's not necessarily, we're using it as the cover photo for the email series. So I chose to have 10 emails. You can choose however many emails you want to have, but I chose 10. So if at the top of all 10 emails, I put that same cover photo. So it has consistency, and they know that it's coming from me, and they know why they're receiving it before they even read anything in the email. So when someone signs up as a challenger with me, I let them know I'm going to add them into my motivation and support group. And I also let them know I'm going to add them to this automated email series, and they're going to get 10 emails from me over the course of 35 days, I believe I did it for. And for them to look for the email. So that way they know to check in their junk folder if they have not received it. And also when I add them to the motivation group, I say, welcome to the group. And I say, look out for your automated emails over the course of the next 35 days. So it prompts them again to remind them that they're going to get the emails. So after you've set up your MailChimp account, after you've made your cover photo that you're going to use for your email series, and mine just has my name, a picture of me, and it says, my group is called Project You. So I have Project You at the top. So it can be very simple. Don't waste time trying to make it too fancy or anything like that. You'll get frustrated with that, and it just wastes time. So just make it simple. Put your name, your picture, and the name of your motivation and support group, and then you call it a day. So you have the cover, and then you decide how many emails you want to have. Like I said, I decided on 10, and so I'd stagger them over the course of the 35 days. And I'm going to show you in the MailChimp how to do it, but you can decide how many days in between they should receive their emails. So for mine, I set it up once once I add them to the list, they'll get an email from me within 24 hours. Then 24 hours, then 3 days after that, they'll get another email. Then 3 days after that, they'll get another email. Then 3 days after that, they'll get another email, and so on. So they just break it up from that. What that does is it creates a freeing of time for you, because it saves you time from posting in those automated in the group, those message for the challenge group that you're constantly repeating over and over and over. You're saving time on answering questions that you're constantly answering over and over and over, because everyone, honestly, if you put yourself in their place, you were there once too. You were confused. You didn't know what was happening, that you're new. You don't know what you're supposed to do next. So these emails are going to answer those questions for your challenger. It gives them a sense of security. So it gives you a sense of security as well, because I'm not sure about you, but as your challenger list grows in numbers and you have more and more challengers to take care of, how do you keep up with everyone? So this kind of alleviates that situation, because it's like they're getting you and they're talking to you, but you're not actually spending the time to do it. Now, yes, you have to follow up with them individually and check in with them in the group, but you're not having to do the same repetitive things over and over. So let's see. I get myself, make myself very available in the group that way too. So that saves time with that. So before you begin, you want to kind of think about, and everybody's different. Think about when you're going to write your paper for, in college or in high school. And some people can just sit down at the computer and they just start typing away. And some people want to write on paper and pencil and kind of get an idea of what's going on. And some people are a combination of the two. So whichever way works best for you. So what I did was I sat down with the paper and decided on what the topics of my 10 emails were going to be. And remember, I'm going to share this information with you in the notes section, and I'm going to write it down for you. And you do not have to create 10 emails. You can choose however many you want. So I came up with 10 topics or 10 titles for the emails. So my first one is going to be congratulations, let the journey begin. The second one is getting started and where do I start? So in that one, I created a video and I just made it on my phone, and I talked about the containers, and I went through the whole entire process that I do with someone when I get on the phone with them and how to use the containers. Now, granted, not everyone that's getting these emails may not get 21-day fix. They might get something else. But a lot of the programs now are using the 21-day fixed meal plan. And if they're not using the 21-day fixed meal plan, they might look at the video and think, wow, that looks pretty cool. Why don't I ask more about that? So I put that video in the second email. And this third email is, now that you've started, I made a video of how to make Shakeology and what I do with it. I went from start to finish, had the ingredients, used the blender and the whole 9 yards. The fourth email is tips to stay focused. I gave them some recipes. I told them how I get started. I go on Pinterest and what I do to find ideas for staying focused. Number five email is how are you doing? So I'm checking in with them. I'm also giving them a reminder that their auto ship for Shakeology may be taking place at this time. And I share a personal story with them about my own Shakeology experience. The sixth email is the finish line. They're getting closer and closer. I talk to them about personal development. I give them an assignment to follow through with. Now keep in mind, so personal development, giving them assignment, sharing my personal story. We're talking about laying some foundation also as what is going on in the coaches scene as well. So the seventh email is I'm finished, now what do I do? So we congratulate them, we celebrate them, we remind them to take their after pictures, give them the directions to submit for their t-shirt, what are their next opportunities or options that they can take care of, and present them with a possible coach opportunity in this email. The eighth email, did you decide what you're going to do next? pretty much I just copied and pasted the email number 7 into number 8 because, you know, sometimes people get busy and they don't know, they forget and they forget to do things. So I copied that into number 8. Number 9 is continuing your journey. Just remind them you're here for them and ask them what they're going to do next. Talk about being a lifestyle change, not just 21 days of fixing. And the 10th email, to control your mind and learn to say no. Remind them you're still here. So again, those are my titles that I use, the topics that I used in my 10 emails. You can create your own topics. You can decide on how many different emails you want to do. So with that being said, I want to just show you a little bit about MailChimp. Let me just share my screen with you. Okay, so once you are in MailChimp, the first thing you will need to do is you will need to create a list that will function as the place where you will sign them up in becoming to get this email. So you'll go to list and then create list. So then we're going to create the list. And so we're going to say just test list. We'll call it test list just because. So we're going to say it's from me. We just fill in the blanks. And you just fill in. I'm not going to take the time to fill it in right now, but you just fill in the blanks. It's pretty simple. You can edit if you don't want your address to be there. You can edit to, sometimes I edit it to 123 Healthy Way or whatever. So you fill it in. Once you get to the bottom, you can click the stuff if you want to get a daily summary and whatnot. So you push save. It's very simple. Just do fill in the blank. So you have the test list, and we see there are no subscribers. You can import some subscribers if you want. Like you could import your Beachbody customer list if you wanted, but I just start from scratch. So we have the list created. Now we want to get back to where the automation is. So we go to automation. And so then we're going to create an automation workflow. Oh, how do I select the list? Uh-oh. So I want to select, I didn't select the list, so we go next step is the setup. Select list, here we go. Sorry. So I'm using test list. This list and workflow can't be changed after we start it, which is fine. So we do that. Okay, so we have the list selected. So then we go again and we fill in the blanks on which one we're going to do. So again, I'm just going to fill this in and say test right here because I'm not going to create it all the way. I'm just showing you what's in here. So we fill it in, and that's for the tracking. Again, I'm not real good at tracking and knowing everything that goes along with it. There's marketing gurus that are good at those sorts of things. I'm not one of those people. Okay, so I want to trigger the workflow when subscribers are imported. So as soon as they get in, as soon as they're added to the list, I want it to trigger that they get the email. So, and you can choose in the next slide, it'll let us know what the time frame they're going to receive it in is. So now we're going to add emails to the workflow. So again, here you go as you add email, you can add as many emails as you want. And so it sets up automation email number 1, automation number 2, automation number 3, and so on. You can go on to as many as you want to add in. And so here you see where it says change delay. So you can change it 1 day after it is triggered. You can change it to however many days, or you can change it into hours or weeks, or immediately, however it goes. So if you want to do immediately after you add them, they'll get that first one. And then you can change the second. They're automatically set up 1 day after previous, 1 day after that one. So you can keep them as as you go. So let's make one email. You just go to design email, and so then we'll name it. I like to name the email and the email subject the same exact thing, because for me, when I want to remember what the title was, and it doesn't show up for you later. So it just says number 1, and then I'm like, well, what was number 1? So I just like to name them both the same thing. So it has your name, it has your email, that sort of thing. So then we go to next step. So we're going to select a template. I always just select this first one. I can't be complicated. I don't know how to work different things. I'm not that tech savvy. So I just select the first one, and then you can go in and fill in the blanks. So you can put the title right here if you want to remind them. I always just delete that one. You don't have to. So this here is, you want to drop your image. This is where you're going to drop your image of your cover photo that you made previously. So I'm not sure if it's going to take me there or not. So we'll do that in a second. But so you just start to fill in the blanks, and you can pull over your text boxes and that sort of thing. And it's not letting me share that part right here. But you just kind of fill in the blanks, and down here is where you will type in the body of your email. So again, I find, I'm going to exit out of this screen. Oh, I'm going to exit out of the screen share right now and come back to see you. Okay, there we are. So that's kind of a little bit of a rundown on how to make an automation for the emails. What I do to create the body of the email is I would go to the online office to use some of the information in their challenge group, information that they post. Like I said, I had developed some scripts that I was using in my challenge groups before, or I'll go on Pinterest and I'll try to find different ideas on Pinterest to use. So I came up with the titles first, and then as I was going, I've kind of filled in the blanks. And they don't have to be very long emails. They just, just short and sweet, gets to the point. Some of them are longer than others, and it's okay. So you just fill in the blanks, and you just think about what kind of questions you get from your challengers all the time, and how you felt when you first started along the course of the first 30 days. You put yourself in their shoes, and then you answer the questions as you're going along. So like I said, you're going to get the first email within 24 hours. So what's happening? How is the person feeling in the first 24 hours? Then their second email is coming 3 days later. Okay, so what are they thinking 3 days later? They just ordered their challenge pack. They got an email that said, yeah, you ordered your challenge pack. You're in these groups. But now they're waiting for their package, and they're antsy because they didn't get their package yet. So you're thinking to them, you have to want to calm them down, reassure them, okay, remember your package is going to come in 5 to 7 days in the mail. In the meantime, you can be doing cleaning out your pantry. You can be taking your before photos. Okay, so that's how that's going. You could start drinking your water. You could start thinking about what your schedule is going to be when you start to work out. The next email is going to come 3 days later. Okay, so they got their package. They're feeling anxious. It's probably sitting on the kitchen counter, and they haven't read their book yet. They haven't even opened the box because they're too scared. So you want to reassure them. Okay, you got your book. So take a picture of it. Share it on Facebook with us. Share it in the group. Let us know you got it. So the whole time you're putting yourself in their shoes, and you're going with them over the course of the 30 days via email. Okay, so I hope this helps you. Remember, I'm going to share the notes in the file section of the Beachbody Rockstar page, and I hope you guys have a great night. Bye.